In this video, I'm going to show you how to enter your listings. So at the menu, go up to listings and you should have enter new listing. If you do not, reach out to your broker and they have the ability to manage your rights and give you this feature. So we're going to left click on enter new listing. Items in red are required fields, so make sure you're on the correct property type. Model home is a category for new construction to list the model home. The model home is not for sale, it's just for advertising purposes. You're going to find the manufactured home and mobile home as a subtype under residential. So select the county and then put in the APN number. It's the first 8 characters, and then you'll click on Get Address. Now, if you do not know the APN number, you can hit Search County Records, put in the property address, hit enter, and then if this information is correct, hit the word select on the left, and that'll autofill this whole left side. Now, with this checkbox checked, autofill tax data, based on this APN number, it's going to bring in your interior square footage, your lot size, the bedroom, the bath, fireplace, that type of information. If you do not want it to autofill, uncheck this and it will not autofill that information on the next screen that's going to pop up. The next thing we're going to do is hit place pin on map. And the interactive map and the radius search, this relies on this latitude and longitude information. Now you can change it to the satellite view and place this icon directly on the house, or if this map doesn't show all the new construction, you could say actually the brand new home is right next to this one. And then once that information is done, just hit continue to listing input. Now, if you're inputting your own listings, this office and agent ID should be filled out automatically. But if you're inputting for someone else in your office and you have those additional rights, all you need to do is type in the person's name, or if you know their ID, hit the word select on the left, and that's going to autofill that information. These little icons here are lookups, so if I click on it, it would just list the people in my office and I can put a check next to their name. Now, status. We have 2 status choices. One, if you want it to be live, you're going to select active. Now, the other option is coming soon. This status allows you to be in the coming soon status for 17 days. There is a required authorization form that can be found under links and documents that must be signed by the seller and the broker and sent to the MLS staff. So if you have any questions with that, please contact staff. But again, the maximum days you could be in coming soon is 17. And it's an off-market status, so it's not going to get syndicated out. But once it hits that date that you put in for an expected active date, it switches automatically from coming soon to active, and that's when your days on market start. So for this one, we're just going to leave it under as active. We're going to select our property types. So if I have new construction, I will go ahead and put in the plan, which is almost like the square footage. And then I also want to do single family. So if someone's searching single family, it's going to come up. If somebody is searching new construction, it's going to pop up in their searches. Now, if I have a manufactured home, it's going to want to know, is the space, this manufactured home, leased or owned? So if they own their own land and it's zoned residential, you can do single family. But if they are leasing it, like in a mobile home park, you're going to put in the lease fee, and then you are not allowed to do single family. So again, if you have a condo, mobile home, and it's all on a lease, you cannot do single family as a secondary. Now we have an area map you can click on to find those areas. It's also an area map under links and documents. So items in red are required, and a lot of these you can override and change. Now, city, we use an abbreviation, so Bakersfield's BA, but again, click on the lookup box, select the city, it'll put in the code for you. Listing price. Do not get carried away with the zeros. Sometimes someone will say, I have a listing for $225,000, and when they submit it, it's in the millions. So again, you already have those ending zeros. You can tab over and change those ending zeros if you like. Now, in order to put a listing in the MLS, you have to have a signed listing agreement. So we accept either one of these. Scope of service, what we consider full service, you're going to be part of that transaction start to finish. You would leave it blank, but we do have other choices like entry only or limited service. If you want this listing to show up on the internet websites like IDX, Realtor.com, that type of thing, say yes. You could say, you know what, I do want it on the internet, but I do not want the address showing. So you have that option to hide the address. But if you do not want it on the internet, you could say no to both. You can override any of these auto-filled fields. So if you knew it was a 3-bedroom and an office, you could just change it. The lot size you can change, but first you need to change the source, and then it'll allow you to change the actual lot size. And you can put it in under square footage or acres. The only field you're not allowed to change is the interior square footage. That's when you would contact the GEMLS staff. We can certainly remove it, but if you want something other than having it removed, we can only accept one source, and that's the local assessor. So up here at the top right-hand corner, if I click this little icon, it opens another session of the MLS, which is very handy. So if you're trying to look up schools or something like that, you can go here and go to links and documents. And we're going to go ahead and first look at the Assessor Recorder Online's website. And you can actually do a property search. You can search by address or APN number. Put in the APN number and hit search. So you can send me this page, or just give me a call and I'll be happy to look it up. But whatever it states here, that's what we can give you on your MLS listing. So if you need to, you could certainly contact their office, get their website updated with the correct information, and then reach out to us. The other thing I want to show you, since we're here under links and documents, is school information. So if I go down here, you'll see a lot of our school links. I always recommend start with the high school. Now, Panama Elementary District works the same way. You just type in an address, hit enter, and then it's going to tell you the high school information, but it also tells you the elementary district. So it has a number here. You can reach out, call them, and verify the elementary and junior high information. But this is a great resource. Also, under the interactive map, under map layers, you could certainly click the school links there and see what the layers are. But this is probably the way I would recommend you do it. So getting back to our listing, we're going to close those extra windows. So right here, your listing date, this is a calendar you're welcome to use, but whatever is the start date on your listing agreement, and then the expiration date. So you'll fill those out. And just remember, items in red are required. Your marketing remarks should just describe the house, not who's going to live there, not how to get in touch with the agent. Any information like that's not acceptable. So just describe the house. Agent only remarks, this is for agent eyes only. So feel free to use this if you want agents to really see something. And you should always be reading the showing and agent remarks. To the property, you're going to go ahead and type in the actual directions or leave it blank. Do not use things like use Google Maps or MapQuest. A lot of agents aren't pleased when people write that in there. Now, some of these required fields have triggers. So if I say yes, then it wants to know, is the solar owned? Is it leased? In-ground pool? Is it saltwater? This became an issue because people were buying home warranties for pools and they weren't specifying if it was saltwater or not, and it made a huge difference. So again, make sure you get the right policy. Deposit amount, this is just good faith money, earnest money in order to open up escrow. And again, some of these fields, remember you have to do all the items in red, But again, you have some triggers. So if I hit HOA fees, it's going to want to know the HOA name, management company, contact number, what are the fees. Now Zillow, if you'd like this listing to appear on Zillow, you have to say internet viewable yes, check Zillow, and the broker has to have a syndication agreement with Zillow. So a broker could, at no charge, reach out to Zillow by emailing them at la@zillow.com and request a syndication agreement. Same with homes.com. Their email is idx@homes.com and just request a syndication agreement. Apartments.com, they just are looking for rental information. Your reserved items, these are things that are not part of the sale. So if you have special plants, statues, chandeliers, just list them here. And if you run out of room, use the agent remarks. Now you can hit save at any time or save as incomplete and come back to it. You can hit submit. And if you're missing those required fields, it'll list them here and you can just click on them to get back to that field you're missing. Now, if you hit save as incomplete and exit, you can come back to it at a later time. And to find your incomplete listing, so I'll just go back to the main page. There's a bunch of ways, but you can certainly go here to listings, go to incomplete listings, and then just hit the little pencil icon. That'll give you the ability to click listing information to finish it up, or you could have clicked on the MLS number on the page before this. But I can revise the remarks, add virtual tours, upload the pictures, and upload documents. So I can do this all prior to submitting the listing live. Or you can submit the listing and then add your photos or attached documents, that type of thing. So no right or wrong way of doing it. But you just go back here, finish the listing up, and then hit submit. And then your listing would be now live in the MLS. Now, if you're inputting for someone other than yourself, you're actually going to have to go here to Admin, Office Menu, and then you would find the incomplete listings here. And then again, you can click on the MLS number to get immediately to it and then submit the listing. Hopefully you found this video helpful. If you have any questions, reach out to GEMLS. Thank you.